This Sunday night in Abu Dhabi, the 2021 Formula One season will officially come to an end. And when the checker flag falls this Sunday night, we will see a new driver's champion and also a constructor's champion. And today, I am going to give y'all my predictions. There's going to be a lot to talk about here, so let's get started. See you in 6 seconds time.
Ryan Prix, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
The 2021 Formula One season is officially coming to an end. This weekend, when the checker flag falls in Abu Dhabi, we will see both a champion and a constructor's champion crowned. But there are only two drivers and two teams contending for the top spot in both categories. Right now, in the Constructors' Championship battle, you got Mercedes and Red Bull by a big margin over McLaren and Ferrari and them other teams. So, who's going to win that? I think it will be Mercedes because they got a big gap and it's going to be very hard for Red Bull to clinch it. And I just don't think it's going to happen. And then you also got a tight battle for P3, which I think Ferrari will hold on to. They've had a great year since they added Carlos Sainz to the driver lineup. Sainz was a big factor. He got a lot of podiums. He got one back in Monaco, which was a very big surprise, which he finished runner-up to Max Verstappen. And then a couple months later down the road, got another podium at Hungary after he finished fourth in the race, but Sebastian Vettel got disqualified and he got promoted to P3. And then at Sochi, in the rain, he got a podium there. So, a big year for Carlos Sainz, and also Charles Leclerc got many podiums himself. But enough said about Ferrari and the whole Constructors deal. I think they win it over McLaren. But now we're going to the Drivers' Championship. Right now, you only got two drivers going for the top spot. All of the other drivers right now are too far behind, but they can still play a factor. But you might be wondering to yourself right now, how can your favorite driver clinch the title? For Verstappen, this is what he has to do to clinch the title. He has to finish higher than Lewis Hamilton, or they both do not score any points, which could be a good possibility because they have both collided many times this year. We saw an incident down in Imola on the opening lap. The UK, down in Nicole's corner, we saw them collide, which resulted in a Verstappen not finishing the race. And then many weeks later, in Hungary, we see Valtteri Bottas and Lando Norris taking out both Red Bull cars and Hamilton getting much points in that race. And then shortly after that, a tangle in Monza where we saw Verstappen on top of Hamilton's car, an airborne wreck. Then just this past weekend in Saudi Arabia, Max Verstappen brake tested Lewis Hamilton, which resulted in severe front wing damage. So that it might not be the end of them colliding this year. And if you're Helmut Marko and Christian Horner, deep down, you're thinking, Mercedes has been very dangerous this year. They have wrecked you many times, and you're looking just to clinch a championship. Do they go out there and take out Hamilton? Because if they do that, they clinch the title because the tiebreaker would be wins. And right now, Verstappen has 9 wins. Hamilton has 8 wins. So if that happens, Verstappen will be a champion. That's what I'm saying. Or that's what I mean when I'm saying if they both score outside the points. So there you go there. But for Hamilton, it's pretty much straightforward. He has to finish higher than Verstappen, which I think is a very good possibility. Because Abu Dhabi, with the new remodeled track, I think it favors the Mercedes because the Mercedes car is known for its straight line speed. And I think at Abu Dhabi, this new layout, the straight line speed will be more rewarded than it would be like at other tracks, maybe like a Mexico or some other places out there. And I think Red Bull is going to have their work cut out for them this weekend. But throughout the year, we have been saying that every single time when we go to a track, which we would think a Mercedes car will be fast. A prime example, this past weekend at Saudi Arabia, we thought Mercedes was going to go in there and just flat out dominate and lead every lap, get the fastest lap, and score many points, which it wasn't the case. Red Bull was very fast, and I think this weekend they can still go out there and surprise us. But cutting it to the chase here, who's going to win the championship? Right now, Hamilton is coming to this race, I would say, as the underdog. Verstappen won this race a year ago. He has what it takes to win here at Abu Dhabi. But for football terms here, you're never going to bet against Tom Brady or college head coach Nick Saban. You're never going to bet against Lewis Hamilton. I think Lewis Hamilton will win this weekend's race at Abu Dhabi because, not just because of his driving skills and talents, but I think because of Valtteri Bottas. And here's why. I think Bottas has been more consistent in the second part of the season, even more so than Sergio Perez. And I think with him being up there in the grid order will help him out and force Red Bull into iffy situations. So I think with both Mercedes drivers being consistent, that is going to be the key for them winning the championship. But Lewis Hamilton will get his career 8th championship. How about that? What are your opinions? Comment them down below. I am very curious to know. Please like and subscribe.